I've run a 4:05 marathon using a run-walk technique that is not jeffing. I've also used it in the Boston, Berlin, London and LA marathons. I'm going to be using it today at the Riga Half Marathon. I'm going to try and convince you why you might want to use it for your next race. So I've set up my Chorus Pace Pro with just the basic interval session for today's run walk. Tell us how we're feeling.
Great.
Ready to run?
I can say this off.
Sway with it. Got a little Pat Butcher matching outfits on. My Chorus is predicting a 2:07. Yours is predicting a 2:11. First walk break. We have been running for 9 minutes. This is our first 1 minute walk. And I feel like this is the hardest one almost because you feel great. Often supporters are like, come on, you just got to stick with it. I think doing this from the very beginning kind of makes you, slows your pace, stops you going out too fast and helps you reserve energy for later on during the race. On our third walk break, I just feel like mentally I find it so much easier to think I'm only running for 9 minutes rather than got a half marathon to run. And whether that is you doing 9 minutes, 4 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever works for you, 1 mile, I just think breaking it up mentally helps me so much, especially when I'm like coming back to the distances or feeling a bit overwhelmed by a race or a training plan. I just find it really helpful for that. So Tam, I feel like you are the perfect example of someone who used to really not, like, completely. You were very against run walk because you kind of felt like it was a failing.
Yeah, and it was a personal failing as well. It wasn't like I never judged anyone else there, but I felt like for me, I had the capability to do it, therefore I should be doing it. Whereas actually, I love my run walk now. Also allows me to train with buggy.
Yes, so helpful for buggy running. And you were saying that like, it's really helps you slow down on your easy runs, which you used to run too fast.
100%. Like when I was in my peak permit, I wondered what I could have achieved if I actually run walking in my easy runs, because it would have allowed me to slow down and not just go out like
actually recover. Yeah. You've used it as like a tool for postpartum like comeback, haven't you?
Yeah.
So this is second race or second half marathon postpartum.
Yeah.
We did Royal Parks in October using that run. So now we're using it again today. Yeah. For me, one of the great things actually is that I feel like, thank you! My perceived effort is lower because during the walk breaks, my heart rate comes right down, my breathing regulates, and I just feel like I'm more in control. Don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, certainly the fact that my heart rate comes back down just means I feel like it's a lower effort level, even if I'm running slightly faster cases during the running session. So my number one tip for people using run walk is to use it for fueling. I honestly think so many runners could benefit from using like this strategy, whether it's like 29 and 1, which is what I used to run a sub 3 at London, just to make sure I was taking on adequate fuel, adequate water, hydration. I really, really don't think anyone loses time over the course of the race by walking for 1 minute for their water breaks or their fuel breaks. if you take it into consideration across like the benefits of making sure you're adequately fueled and hydrated, nailing your nutrition is such an easy win. Like the percentage performance benefits are so much greater than like super shoes or hyperbolic chambers, all those kind of fancy things that people are using nowadays. And if we just actually made sure you're taking in enough carbs, in enough fluid, electrolytes, sodium, you could probably nail it and improve your performance. So have a think about that next time you're racing. I actually usually...
You're doing well.
Thank you, and you.
Thank you.
I feel like, so I've used the Coros app or Coros watch like intervals for today, but usually I actually manually lap it because I find that easier to make sure that you're coinciding your walk breaks with the water stations and also with the downhills. Like I don't want to be wasting a downhill by walking, so yeah, or an uphill. Make sure that you are utilising the course for your performance benefits. Do you see me miss my mouth? There. And imagine if I was trying to run and do that. It'd be a disaster. It also means that I'm not trying to run through the cups, so less likely to injure myself on those. Today literally is just about enjoying ourselves, seeing where we are. This is my first week of like Sydney training. This is your like first half marathon, having gone back to work, having had your daughter be sick. Like, yeah, it was a lot. It all counts as stress.
And it will come back and it only serves as normal station, right?
Exactly, we hope so anyway. Hopefully we're not in this position in a year being like, oh yeah, next time. Yeah, that was the quickest minute of my life.
Yep.
Okay. The final walk break. We're gonna run it in. 1 kilometre to go. 3, 2, 1. So the reason I don't use jeffing is because I find the run bits and the walk bits too short. I use either of 3 strategies. One is 4 minutes running, 1 minute walking. And I use those for like my shorter, easy runs, usually between 3 and 6 miles. Then 9 and 1, 9 minutes running, 1 minute walking. And I'll use those for long runs, some races, mostly training races. And then 29 and 1, which I know sounds weird, but I'll use those in my actual races. So half marathons, where I'll use it to fuel. In Boston this year, I walked through every water station because it was just so hot. So I think it's a really good strategy that you can change on the fly based on kind of course profile, heat index, just your energy and effort levels. And you like utilize it for what you need it for. Congratulations!
Eu spał pesquisa tą cidade jovem, sem traçados, vivia dentro de Cuiabá.
And they're giving out roses to the I think it's just female marathoners. I absolutely love that.